Welcome to my review of Star Wars Battlefront II. The game, developed in 2017 from DICE, under the umbrella of Electronic Arts, is made up of a single player campaign. Starts off from the perspective of the Empire at the conclusion of Return of the Jedi.
The Emperor is dead.
Really? Did you say?
Messenger's presence is a great honor. One I
And who's this? Kinda looks familiar, like an old friend. Howdy!
If I die here, I'm glad you will too.
Well, thank you, buddy.
Come on, you know I'm good for it.
I don't know that you're good for anything. You've done a lot of damage to this alliance.
There must be something special about this place.
Special indeed. So one of the things that is special, apparently, about Battlefront 2 is that EA have gotten rid of loot boxes, loot crates. Kinda looks like loot to me though. So the game, much like the original Battlefront, has a fairly strong emphasis also on the flying, and to be honest, this is an area where they've actually made huge amounts of improvement, so the gameplay is much more natural, much easier. But it is a third-person shooter at heart, spanning a range of different environments from the original trilogy to the prequels to the current installments. The gameplay is itself fairly linear and scripted, however that actually works in its favour because it adds to the narrative capability of the story. At its heart, however, this is a game about a redemptive arc of Iden Verso and her partner Del, former members of the Empire in a group known as the Inferno Squad, the Emperor's very own specialist troops. But for all their skill and, menace, they actually kind of act a bit stupid.
How'd you plan to do that?
We're gonna need ships. TIE fighters ahead.
It's almost comical, in fact, the way they've written these characters.
Oh, come on. They're still
Yeah,
looking for us.
exactly.
Stay close and wait until
So,
I open fire.
the game, because it's sort of set up with Iden and Del playing together, it relies very heavily on that sort of combination of yourself and the NPC, Del. And the AI doesn't quite cut it. Here we go again. Oh, Del, what are you doing? I was sneaking. But I guess I can't always blame Del for everything that goes wrong. Now, it is a Star Wars game, and it wouldn't be that if it didn't have some Jedi action. But it's fairly limited in the game, and it really feels like it's missing. So back to our story with Iden. One of the problems with the game is its inconsistent sort of flow. So it goes from stealth game to essentially full-on fragfest in almost no time at all, and it's pretty intense. Poor Del, just standing there, no cover, no nothing. I'll be back. And some of the things that they say just don't make that much sense.
Now let's find that ship.
What about that?
All of them?
Hope is the reason we're going to win.
Yay! Yeah, so as I said, the sort of tension between what you want to do and what the AI wants to have done is one of the frustrations of the game, and it can make some levels feel almost unplayable. And indeed, the production value in this game is also inconsistent. So there's some lush, wonderful levels, but there's also some weird sort of texture issues, and some of the sound effects and scripting aren't so good. Don't get me started on the girly screams. and the Lego hair. But meanwhile, you know, there are a lot of things that are good about the game as well, and it is interesting. But you also sometimes feel a bit more like a passenger, just waiting for things to magically happen. And some parts of the game are just bizarre. Look, it's a Han Solo walking simulator.
That's Han Solo.
Yeah, exciting. So in terms of the multiplayer, you know, it's like most multiplayers, it's pretty intense. Yeah, it's actually not that bad, but no matter how cautious you want to be, you just end up, wait for it, dead. And to the point where, you know, even if you're trying to be extra cautious, you know, here this is like a mile away from anything. You know, I'm shooting, most probably not hitting anything, but still somehow, amazingly, no matter if you're floating like a butterfly, you want to sting like a bee, dead again. You know, I thought I learned my lesson here, using that droid as a body shield, letting those guys, you know, take the full brunt of the attack. I'm gonna make it. No, I'm not. So, you know, it's
Watching you
fun,
fight
multiplayer,
today,
but
it's clear you're not just running from the Empire. This means something to you.
yeah, it's fun, but I most probably enjoyed the PvP played with split screen just a little bit more anyway. The environments, you know, there's a good range of levels that the PvP can be played against, although I have to admit they do feel just a little bit small, especially compared to the ones that were in the original Battlefront. But the range of powers, the heroes that you have the option to use, do give you some epic one-on-one action in the game.
Skywalker must not leave this place.
But it can feel awfully quiet and awfully empty, although that can add to the suspense.
I think not.
But overall, it's a fun way to play. Marco!
Life ends.
Bolo! Pew 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 pew! Victorious. So the other option that you have in the game is the couch co-op. So in this case, instead of playing against yourself, each other, you're playing against the sort of scripted AI of the game, and that is, you know, actually more fulfilling as well. Though I have to admit, in this game, in split screen, the enemy are so difficult to hit. But it's not just the enemy that you have to worry about. You know, there's also the environment. And falling. Make it stop indeed. Well, so let's summarize. It is a Star Wars game, so, and the story does expand a little bit on from the movies. Fun co-op. It is immersive. It's very simple, easy to play. It's huge, and it's just inconsistent. And of course, there is that pay-to-win sort of feel, and it often feels broken, kind of iffy production as well. Overall, I'd give it a 7.5. It kind of feels like it should be a free-to-play, so I guess with that in mind, may the fortnight be with you.